Hariom everyone. I welcome you all to today's quiz session, Natkhat Nandalaala, which is a Gita Jayanti special. So let me explain. First of all, we have 4 rounds. So the first round is called Rapid Agni. So what happens in Rapid Agni is you have a number of questions. I'll be asking you one by one. They also have 4 options along with the quiz question. So the person who raises their hand first will get the chance to answer. Also, it's a humble request to not unmute yourself and answer, but maybe just raise your hand and then whoever raises their hand first gets the chance. So the first question is, what type of text is the Bhagavad Gita? If option A Shruti, option B Smriti, option C Purana, and option D Stotra. Yes, Vijay.
Purana.
Let's see if that's the right answer. The right answer is Shruti. So we have about 7 questions. So just consider this as a bonus one or a warm-up kind of question. So here's the second one. In which part of the Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita found? Option A Virata Parva, option B Bhishma Parva, option C Krishna Parva, or option D Drona Parva. Yes, Sandy.
Option B Bhishma Parva.
And that's the right answer. Great job. Here's the third question. Who wrote the Gita Dhyana Shlokas? Option A Madhusudana Saraswati, option B Vedavyasa, option C Adi Shankaracharya, or option D Sri Krishna. Yes, Sohan. Do you want to take a try?
I would say option C.
Okay. But the right answer is option A Madhusudana Saraswati. But great job on trying. Question 4. In chapter 4, who does Krishna say he first taught Atma Jnana to? Option A, Vivaswan, option B, Sanjaya, option C, Balarama, or option D, Yudhishthira. Yes, Hriday.
Yudhishthira.
Well, the right answer is option A, Vivaswan. But great job. Good guess. Question 5. What does Sarva Karma Sannyasa mean? Option A, giving up all actions completely. Option B, serving as a sannyasi. Option C, knowing that you're not the doer. Or option D, leaving everything behind and thinking only of Krishna. Yes, Shreyas.
I feel so HD.
Leaving everything behind and just thinking about Krishna. But the right answer is option C, knowing that you are not the doer. We have question 6. Why does Sri Krishna teach Gita to Arjuna? Option A, because Arjuna was sad and confused. Option B, because Arjuna was Krishna's closest friend. Option C, because Arjuna was patient and a great listener. Or option D, because Arjuna surrendered to Krishna and asked for help. What's to say? Yes, Akshat.
Because Arjuna surrendered to Krishna and asked for help.
And that's the right answer. Great job. Because Arjuna surrendered to Krishna and asked for his help. Here's the next question. Why is Brahma Vidya called Rajaguhya, the king of secrets? Option A. It's written in Sanskrit, a language not everyone knows. Option B. It's only for kings and the royalty. Option C. It's a secret knowledge meant only for the wise. Or option B. Even after being explained, it still remains a secret.
Door closes.
Um,
Door closes.
what do you think the answer is?
You called me.
Yes, you raised your hand. So what do you
Look there. No, like Hriday's mic is unmuted. That's why I couldn't hear you.
Okay, why don't you read the question? It's on the slide. Let me read the options.
Yeah, I think it's the C one.
It's a secret knowledge meant only for the wise. So Shall we lock that answer?
Yeah.
But the answer is option D. Even after being explained, it still remains a secret. Here's the eighth question. Who is considered the greatest bhakta in the Gita? Option A, the one who prays in times of trouble. Option B, the one who realizes they're one with Krishna. Option C, the one who seeks to understand the Brahman. Or option D, the one who asks for protection and happiness. Yes, Dia.
The one who realized they are one with Krishna.
And that's the right answer. Great job. Here's the ninth question. Who is described as the man of steady wisdom in the Gita? Someone who Krishna asks us to emulate. Option A, Mahabahu. Option B, Sthita Prajna. Option C, Karunandana. Option D, Brahman. Yes, Sohan. A, Mahabahu.
Yes.
The right answer is Sthita Prajna. Option B. But great job. Good guess. Here's the last question of Rapid Agni, which is essentially our warm-up round of the quiz. What is the main idea of Karma Yoga in the Gita? Option A, worshipping Ishvara in a temple. Option B, doing selfless actions without being attached to the results. Option C, living in an ashram and dedicating life to service. Or option D, practicing meditation and yoga regularly. Yes, Raghavi.
Option B, doing selfless actions without being attached to the results.
Great job. That's the right answer. So that's the end of Rapid Agni. Here's the next round, but before that, round of applause to all of you who got the answer right or even tried answering. So great job, first of all. Now let's move to the round 2, which is Maya Magic. So what happens in Maya Magic is a question is given to you, which is a situation, and you'll have to use Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad Gita shlokas to come to a solution to the situation. So, though this may sound a little abstract, let me give you an example that will make it very clear. So, here's the first situation: the sleepy scholar. Listen to it carefully and also read it once yourself. Every morning, there is this boy, Ishan, who aims to study really well, top his class, and also join the cricket team of his school. But every morning, Ishan's alarm rings and he tells himself just 5 more minutes of sleep. How many of us have done this? The alarm rings or a mom wakes us up and we just say 5 more minutes. So that's what Ishan does almost every day. And those 5 minutes turn into hours. And by the time he is actually up, he doesn't have time to study, and his cricket practice is also forgotten. Now, since staying in bed and sleeping for some more time feels so nice, but later on, Ishan feels like he's running out of time and he has very little time to accommodate and do all the things he wanted to do. So, how can the wisdom of Gita help Ishan make better choices and reach his goals? So, the thing about Maya Magic is you can use any shloka of your choice. There is no right shloka or wrong shloka. There's also no right answer or wrong answer. There can be just better alternatives, but no right and wrong. So, the first shloka that came to my mind when I looked at the situation is Bhagavad Gita shloka 8.6 and 8.7. Though I am referring to this particular shloka, let's say you can't think of a particular shloka or shloka number, don't worry, you can give a more of a general advice that Gita gives you. Also, as you may have already realized, there's so many different shlokas that tell you similar things, right? So it's okay to use any shloka. So if you remember this particular shloka 8.6 and 8.7 that we covered very recently, Let us just go through it once. Who wants to read the shloka? Vijay Raghavan, do you want to try? Megha, I saw your hands. Do you want to read the shloka? Go ahead.
Actually, it is kind of considered as absent, that is, so I don't know the shloka.
Okay, let me just read it. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha.
So, should I read it out?
The shloka meaning is, sure, you can read it.
Whatever one remembers upon giving up the body at the time of death, O son of Kunti, one attains that state being always absorbed in such contemplation.
Very good. तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मरयुध्य च मय्यार्पितमनो बुद्धिर्मामिवैष्यस्य संशयम्. Go ahead, Megha.
Therefore, always remember me and also do your duty of fighting the war. With mind and intellect surrendered to me, you will definitely attain me. Of this, there is no doubt.
Excellent. So I'm sure looking at this picture, you may have already started to remember what we covered in that particular session. We spoke about how there's these small actions, right? It could be as small as getting up and the first thing you do is brush your teeth. So that's an action. So now how this action creates an impression which turns into a tendency and it becomes a pattern. Now it's a cycle. Now every day you wake up and the first thing you do is brush your teeth. Now it's a habit. So we also saw how the shloka tells us that the thing that you remember this second is also, it affects what you do the very next second. So we also took the example of how the last thing you think about is probably, oh, tomorrow is my birthday, and probably the next day when you wake up, that's the first thing you think about. Also, how this second you feel you're hungry and you think about food, and the next second you're eating. So, how your thoughts turn into actions, and how this second turns into the next and becomes a cycle. So, what kind of solution can you get from this shloka, and what do you suggest to Ishan? So maybe, let's say Ishan wants to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. So and now, right now he gets up at 7. So maybe we could guide him saying just get up about 15 minutes earlier every day. So today you wake up at 6:45 and tomorrow you get up at 6:30 and then you get up at 6:15. So you keep increasing and gradually make the change. Also, try to do it every day and then it becomes a habit which doesn't require a lot of effort. So he keeps getting up early every day for a few days until it becomes a habit and becomes so natural that now he doesn't need an alarm, but he simply wakes up effortlessly. And also maybe make smaller changes, like to wake up early you also need to go to bed early. So maybe if you're sleeping at around 10 p.m. then maybe start sleeping a little early, like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. So this is a solution, something as simple as this that you can suggest, right? So we have one situation only, and I'd encourage you to perhaps bring a pen and a paper or a pencil and then write your solution down so you can share it with me. So here's the situation we have: the pressure cooker. Shrestha is a 10th grader and is living in what can only be described as a pressure cooker. Her day starts at 8 a.m. with school and then it's off to coaching classes till 6, followed by tuitions till 8, and somehow she still manages to squeeze in homework until midnight. We honestly don't know when she finds time to eat or sleep. Between the 10th board exams, entrance exams, and her parents' towering expectations, she's beginning to feel like she's juggling fire while walking a tightrope blindfolded. Use the wisdom of the Gita and guide Shrestha on how to approach this challenge. To simplify and to to kind of summarize what this situation tells us, is that there's this girl, Shrestha, who's in 10th grade. So she is kind of juggling too many things, or she has too many things on her plate right now. She has multiple exams. She has so many things to do. She has to go to school. She doesn't really have time to do all of it, and yet she's trying to fit all of it together, and she feels really stressful as to, oh, I have to do that. I am supposed to also finish my homework. So there's so many things like this, right? So, what do you suggest? It could be anywhere from a shloka specific approach till something that's very generic advice that the Bhagavad Gita gives you. So, why don't you take, let's say, 7 minutes? So, right now it's 7:21. Why don't you take time till 7:28? Try to figure out the answer and then we can discuss. So, show me a thumbs up if the instructions are clear. And raise your hand if you have a doubt.
Sister, Manya sister, I completed.
Wow, that's really nice, Sohan. Why don't we wait, let the others as well finish, and then we can start listening to all your answers. But
Should we write the answer?
yeah, why you? It's an option. It's an optional thing. You can write your answer. If not, just share in the end of the 7 minute time.
I will tell I know answer.
Great. Also, feel free to quote the shloka, as in, say, shloka number, and then maybe recite the shloka, give the meaning, and how you can apply that particular shloka in this situation. All
I know, I do not know the meaning exactly, but I know that.
oh,
The meaning is hard to define, and I know the number, but the feeling is somewhere deep inside my brain.
okay,
I
sure.
identify it now.
Also, just to make it clear, it's not necessary that you use the same shloka I quoted like for the previous question. Feel free to use any shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. So it's now 7:22. Take time till 7:28.
Your mic is muted.
Okay, thank you. Let's start discussing the answers now. You can, who wants to give their answer first and share it?
I want to tell.
Yeah, sure, Pichara. Go ahead.
Next, I would tell Manya sister, then Akshat.
Sure, please raise your hand so that way.
Okay, Manya sister.
Okay. Yes, Vijay.
After
In in 2.47 in second chapter 47 verse, Sri Krishna tells कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फलहेतुर्भुः मा ते संगोऽस्तकर्मणि. Focus on the present instead of worrying about the future or past. Shrestha should focus on the present moment. She should prioritize her tasks, set realistic goals, and take things one step at the time. Another shloka is 3.8, third chapter. Ni- नियतं कुरु कर्मत्वं कर्मज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रा विजते न प्रसिद्धेरकर्मणः. Discipline and routine, time management and self-care. Establishing a consistent routine can help Shrestha manage her time more effectively. She should allocate time for studying, relaxation, and self-care.
Excellent. Great job. Really. Very nice. Who wants to share their answer next? Yes, Akshat.
Me.
Go ahead. Yes, Akshat.
I am referring to shloka number 9.14. I'll chant it first and then I can.
Sure.
Manya, can you tell? I told that after him, brother, I'll tell.
Okay, sure, Sohan. Okay, why don't we, since Akshat started, we'll listen to Akshat and then you can go immediately after him. Continue, Akshat.
So I'm referring to shloka number 9.14. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dhrudavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. In this shloka, it is giving that by chanting the name of Krishna, they can get away from this pressure cooker.
Do you want to explain a little bit more, as in how that happens?
Yeah, by chanting the holy name of Krishna while doing all work and doing it wholeheartedly, we won't experience the pressure or we won't feel it's very hard work or work which we get headache.
Very nice.
For example, I'll give an example.
Yes.
At first, I even 1 week back, I was crying and because I was feeling very much stressed, a lot of homeworks. And then I tried this out for a day and it worked.
Oh, wow. That's really nice. Very nice, Akshat. Excellent. Yes, Sohan.
The 6.10. As Krishna, as according to what I learned, Krishna has told us yogas. If you have the good power of yoga, and that can calm your body, which makes everything cool. If you do every time in the morning, the day will be not in a hurry. Krishna will manage the day and make sure that you are not in a hurry. That is my understanding.
Very nice, Sohan. Excellent. Very nice. You can go next, Raghavi.
Okay, so I decided to refer to Shloka 6.17, which is Yuktaharasya, sorry, Yuktaharviharasya, Yuktaksheshthasya karmasu, Yuktaswapnavabodhasya, Yogo bhavati dukkha. So basically, it says that one should keep everything in balance. They should regulate their habits of eating and sleeping. So Shrestha should keep everything in balance and she should keep a routine. Whatever tasks she has kept for that day, she should finish it on that day so that the pressure does not build up. And if she's still feeling stressful, then she could do yoga as it helps with it.
Very nice, Raghavi. Excellent. Why don't you go next, Megha?
Yeah, so for my thing, I'd like to suggest Shloka 2.47. It says Karmanyevadhikarastema Paleshu Kadachanama Karma Falahetur Bhurma Te Sangustha Karmani. This verse it emphasizes the importance of focusing on the action rather than obsessed with its outcome. Like her parents, Shrestha's parents are expecting a lot from her about her board exam marks. She is afraid that she'll get low marks, which will give tension while she's studying. But the mind works well when it's calm. So you have to focus on the process of studying, how you're studying and all like that. If you focus on that, you can get a good outcome.
Excellent. Very nice, Megha. Great. So great job, everyone. You all came up with wonderful solutions. Is there someone I missed and someone who wants to share their solution? Also, there's no rule that you shouldn't repeat a shloka number that someone has already referred to, or you shouldn't repeat the same advice. You can in your own words, in if you feel so. Also, you can also share some general advice from Gita, if not a specific shloka. Someone? Yes, Snigdha.
It's only general advice, not really specific, not really a specific shloka. But for Shrestha, she can she does school though will be a long day, so that's fine. But then like coaching classes, she can decrease it a bit, like till 6. Like I guess it's a few hours, so she can decrease it to some like half of the hours. For example, it's like 4 hours. She can decrease it to 2 hours instead. And for her tuition, which is till 8, so I think it's about 2 hours. So she can decrease it to 1 hour. So it's like she can find some time to do her homework and also have some time to sleep. Like she can just manage her time.
Very nice. Very good, Snigdha. Great try. Yes, Hriday.
I think so. Shrestha can cut decrease the time of our coaching classes. Like it's from 6 to 8. 2 hours. So she can decrease it to 1 hour, and she might have some time to relax and spend some time with her family and do the homework also.
Very nice. Good advice, Hriday. So I hope Shrestha follows that and she feels better and not like she's in a pressure cooker. Great job, everyone. So that's about round 2. Round 3 is called Stabda Chitra. It's a picture round. This is the most fun round out of the 4 rounds we have. So let me explain to you how this round works. So you will first be shown a picture on the slide and you will also have 4 options. What we will do is go through the meaning of each of these 4 shlokas. And then you'll see the picture and the 4 shlokas again. And now that you know the meaning of each of these shlokas, you will be able to choose which picture, which shloka is being represented by the picture. Let's look through the first question. So, also I request you to raise your hand so you can answer if you know the answer. So, this is the picture, and here you have four options: A, B, C, D. A 2.59, B 2.7, C 2.11, and D 1.1. Let's go through, read the meaning of each of these shlokas, and then you should be able to kind of draw a line or draw connection between the picture and the shloka meaning. So here is shloka 2.59. I'll read out the English meaning. Feel free to read anything from this slide that you may think will help you draw a connection between the picture and the meaning. Aspirants may restrain the senses from their objects of enjoyment, but the taste for the sense objects remains. However, even this taste ceases for those who realizes the Supreme. This is 2.59. Here is 2.7. I am confused about my duty and am besieged with the anxiety and faint-heartedness. I am your disciple and am surrendered to you. Please instruct me for certain what is best for me. This is what Arjuna says. Here is shloka 2.11. The Supreme Lord said, while you speak words of wisdom, you are mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. The wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. And finally, here's option D. Shloka 1.1. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after gathering on the holy field of Kurukshetra and desiring to fight, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do? Here are the options again. Who wants to answer first?
I want to answer first. I
You can take it based
know
on
the correct answer for this one.
great job, Sohan. Let's go based on the hands. Okay, you can go first, Sohan. What is the right answer?
1.1.
Excellent, Sohan. That's the right answer. Very good.
That's saying to as you told the meaning, same. That is the picture. Lord, the Rishi, I forgot the Rishi name. That Rishi gave the power to Sanjaya to explain to Dhritarashtra what is happening in the battlefield, every single thing, with the divine power.
Very
That's
nice.
how this shloka is related to the picture.
Very nice. Excellent, Sohan. Great job. That's the right answer. Here's the second question. Please look at the picture. This is the picture. Here are the options. Option A 2.41, option B 4.1, option C 2.47, and option D 4.2. Let's look at the meaning. Here's 2.41. O descendant of the Kurus, the intellect of those who are on the path is resolute and their aim is one-pointed, but the intellect of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Option 1. Here's option 2, which is Shloka 4.1. I taught this eternal science of yoga to the sun god Visvasan, who passed it on to Manu, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku.
4,
Now here's option C.
5.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction. This is the third option. And here's the last option, 4.2. O subduer of enemies, the savior received the signs of you in a continuous tradition, but with the long passage of time, it has been lost to the world.
1, 2.
Now let's look at the options. Here are the options. Who wants to answer?
I want to answer.
Yes, Snigdha.
It's 2.47.
And that's the right answer. Great job, Snigdha. So it is Karmanya Vadikaraste. So I think this is the last question we have for this round. So here's the picture. Mind is best friend, mind is worst enemy. And here's the options: 6.1, 7.19, 7.7, and 6.5. So option 1 reads, those who perform prescribed duties without desiring the results of their actions are actual sannyasis and yogis, and not those who have merely ceased performing sacrifices such as Agnihotra Yagna or abundant bodily activities. Here is option 2, 7.19. After many births of spiritual practice, one who is endowed with knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be all that is. Such a great soul is indeed very rare. Here's option C, 7.5. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material, inferior nature. And finally, here's the fourth option: elevate yourself through the power of your mind and not degrade yourself, for the mind can be the friend and also the enemy of the self. And here is the picture.
Can I answer?
We'll go with the order in which.
I want to
Yes.
Okay.
as her.
Megha. That's the hand I saw first. Yes, Megha.
Is it option C, 7.5?
Okay. Well, let's see. Who else wants to give it a try?
Vijay
I want to give it a try.
Dia, what do you think is the answer?
6.5.
Okay, let's look at the answer. The answer is indeed 6.5. Great job. It is Uddaret Atmanatmanam shloka.
That was my answer actually.
Oh, great job, Sohan. Also, if because only one of us can answer it by unmuting ourselves, the rest of you can also put your answer in the chat box. I'm also looking at the chat box. So with that, we're coming to an end of the round 3. Here's the one of the most interesting rounds, and that is Prashna Nirman. So all of us will get a chance to answer this. So there's only one question here, and that is itself to frame a question. Let's take an example. Before that, I'll give you a gist of what this round is. Choose a shloka of the Bhagavad Gita of your choice and frame a question based on that particular shloka. The answer can be anything. The question also could be of any type or kind. Let's look at an example. So here's a shloka that we covered very recently. Who wants to read or chant the shloka out?
Can I chant? I know.
Yes, go ahead, chant.
आब्रह्म भुवनाल्लोकाः पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
Excellent. So the meaning is, in all the worlds of this material creation up to the highest abode of Brahma, you will be subject to rebirth, O Arjun, but on attaining my abode, O son of Kunti, there is no further rebirth. So if this will help you recollect, we saw that there are two meanings to this shloka, two sets of it which complete each other. One will be subject to rebirth in all 14 worlds. So here you see that there's 14 different worlds, right? Satyaloka, Tapaloka, and so many more until Patala. So there are 14 worlds. Only on attaining Krishna will there be no further rebirth, is what we understood. Also, we looked at the question as, what is hell and heaven? So we often hear that these lokas on the higher ends are usually the heavenly planes, and the ones below at the lower planes are often associated with hell. So we asked ourselves this question. So what is the thing that comes to our mind when we think of hell? So I'd insist that all of us think about it as well. Just answer it to yourself. So close your eyes, think about hell. What is the picture that comes to your mind? What are people undergoing there? So who wants to perhaps share their answer? What do you think hell is? What are people undergoing in hell? What is happening? What are the emotions? Yes, Hriday.
Hell is where people hell is where the people hell is the place where the people who do a lot of sins.
We're not thinking about what kind of people are in. Let's just think about what is the person feeling. Is the person happy in hell? Is that what you
So
think?
the person is very the person the person will he'll get a lesson.
Sure, he may get a lesson, but just think about the emotional aspect. So is he
He'll be
happy?
like type of sad, crying.
He's sad. Okay, great. Yes, Nigda.
Like, like hell, if you picture it, then it looks like this very what do you say? A very dark place which looks like it's burnt into ashes or something like that. And then there are like many people there who don't look very happy and don't look like they want to be there. Instead, they look really like they look like they there's like suffering and they look really sad and all that stuff. So that's how I picture hell.
Great. So what do you think about the people? How are they feeling in heaven?
In heaven, it's like a more, it's basically the opposite of hell. So in heaven, it's instead of having like instead of being a dark place and having like like burnt everywhere, it doesn't have any of those. It's a very peaceful, sunny area or a sunny place where like there's like this good climate and all that stuff, and everyone is they don't regret being there. They actually love that place and would never leave the place.
And are they sad and crying? How are
No,
they?
no, no. They're very happy and they feel very calm.
Great. So that I'm hoping matches with most of our ideas about hell and heaven. The person in hell is really sad. He doesn't want to be there. He feels stressful and tense and really a very depressing kind of a situation. But in heaven, the person feels really happy, and also there's some kind of a warmth, there's light, there's hope, there's happiness, there's also joy, and he's also very calm and peaceful. But if you think about it, like we discussed in our class, all of that are emotions that we experience in our day to day life. So there are days or there are times when we feel really sad and upset about something. There's also times when we feel really angry, frustrated, sad, perhaps like Shrestha, who feels really sad and maybe very pressurized. So, what we understood is that yes, there may be these different ideas about hell and heaven, which we are not very sure of, but what we can be of certain is that there is this world right here, and I can make this very moment or this very place hell or heaven. I have the choice. So I could choose to react in a certain way to make people around me feel calm and very peaceful, and also me at the same time feel very calm and peaceful, or choose to be angry at something and then perhaps react in certain way which makes the environment very the place around you, your surroundings, very much like the description of hell that we can think of. Also, if you realize, heaven is called Satyaloka. So the moment you realize the truth, which is I'm not this body mind, I'm something above all of it, I'm one with Krishna, I'm no different than Krishna. Once you realize the truth, the universal truth, then you have heaven. You are already in heaven, a place where there is joy, there's peace, you feel very calm, and there's no place for sorrow. So, and that is the truth. Also, we learned how our world is nothing but the things in our mind. So, whatever I know of, whatever I'm aware of, whatever is in my brain is my world. So, when the baby is born, it only knows about food. So, the baby cries for food. Its world is food. So, that's the only thing in its mind, and therefore, that's its world. Food is its world. Then one fine day, the child sees something flying in the sky, and someone tells it, "Oh, this is an aeroplane." So there's a new thing in its world. Until then, the child didn't know about an aeroplane, and so it an aeroplane wasn't even a part of the world, but now it sees a plane and now that becomes a part of its world. Similarly, I'm from this country, it gets introduced to these new things, new games like football, all of this, as and when you add it into your mind, it becomes your world. So how do you change your world? If you think my world is not a very nice place, then just change your mindset. Add the nicer things. Add the things you want your world to have, and that becomes your world inadvertently. So one question I could perhaps frame on this particular verse is, how can you transform this moment and this place into heaven? So this is just an example. You can frame questions like, what is your world? How do you change your world? Anyway, and the question could be anything like this, or it could also be a situational question, like how we did it in Maya Magic. Maybe give a situation and ask, the answer could be a solution to the situation. So here are the good questions. So what kind of questions would not be as good, or maybe needs a little bit more improvement? Maybe just stating some verse from the shloka and asking you to complete it. Or maybe just reading out the shloka and perhaps asking which shloka number is this, or reading the meaning and saying which shloka number is this. So all, maybe getting into the meaning, the application part of it would be better and would be more encouraged in this round. So now take your time, pick a shloka of your choice or a group of shlokas, get the meaning, frame a question, and then we can start sharing our questions.
I already framed the
I already
question.
framed in my brain. I'm very ready to say my question.
I already framed a question.
Very nice, Sohan. Excellent. But let's
And
just
it is already stored in the brain already.
take at least another 3 minutes. Let's start sharing at 7:56. Take time until then. Frame a good question. So if
7:58.
you're already done framing a question, I'd suggest just look at the question again, reread it, see if you can improvise the question. Maybe you can have the question with more clarity. It can be more clear, more simple. Something. Just refine your question. There's always scope for improvement, right? So take.
What is the shloka number? Like shloka?
You can choose your own shloka. Choose any shloka. You have 1 more minute.
Okay.
You told that you can take
But
one
you told it's supposed to be related to this shloka, right?
5 to 6.
The example I gave, the example of the shloka that I framed was from this particular shloka, and it's an example.
So can we give the question from this shloka?
You can, feel free. You can. Or feel free to take another shloka that's completely different. Completely.
Anything that we have learned.
Yes. Yes, Sohan. Great.
I'm ready to answer.
Let's just give another minute to everyone so we're all ready. Okay? Okay, let's start now. One by one. Yes, Sohan.
The slokas I'm taking are 1.0 till 1.2 and 6.5 and 6.10.
Okay.
These all slokas are I feel these are almost related to Mahabharata. Krishna was teaching Arjuna, understand that Duryodhana's father is blind and he cares of his love to his son, but his son do not listen to him and always speak in his wish. But you are an intelligent person. Use the yogic power. Do meditations and yogas There are and you'll get and do the yoga powers which I mentioned. These yoga powers will be very helpful. That is my question.
Very nice. Very, very good.
So,
Excellent.
how can it help Arjuna? That is the question.
Great job, Sohan. So, all of us should try answering that question. If you know the answer, just type the answer in the chat box, and then we
I
can.
already know.
Great job, Sohan. Excellent. I also hope if you're framing the question, you all know the answers. Also, I request you to keep it short, so it's more clear and easy to understand, right? Snigdha, go next.
So it's actually kind of related to this shloka you gave as an example. So like whenever you go, like you told, right, hell and heaven are just like perspectives. So when you're like going through like in your day-to-day life, my question is, what makes you think that this is hell? Like, in what perspective do you think that this is hell? That's my question. Because it can also be heaven in the same time. You are the only person who's seeing it in a different way. So what made you tell that this is hell? That's my question.
Very nice. Excellent, Snigdha. Does someone want to answer this question?
I want to answer.
Uh, okay, sure, Sohan.
The answer, what I feel would be the answer. Maybe it would be the correct answer or no. Hell, as you mentioned in the last slokas and told, hell and heaven, the things that you learn and use it in heaven and hell. Hell is the lokas which you mentioned, which are from 8 to 14 are hell. The slokas which are from 7 to 1 are heaven. There's a lot of difference with hell and heaven. Hell is the thing which we are going to experience and we are is going to happen and happen. The thing which we happen and it is a part of our life which we have learned. That is my answer.
Okay, very nice.
How about Snigdha? What was the answer you thought when you
Like,
Also, there's
I
no right or wrong answer. In Gita is generally also your understanding and your perspective, so there's no wrong answer. So yes, Snigdha, what was your answer? You
like I thought that it depends on the situation. Like if it's something really bad, then yes, you can say my life is hell. But then also you have to think it when Vijayji gave this scenario where you have like cut your hair and then one girl is like, it makes you look something, she told. Yeah, it makes you look thin or something. Well, that's when she took it as a bad way, but then she also might be saying it in a good way, or she might be saying it to compliment her instead. So that's what I think. So basically, you can't always think your life is hell. You should always think in a different way too. You should be like, why are they even saying this? Like, you should first think about that. And then you should always think if they're saying it in a bad intention or they're saying it in a good intention. You should always be thinking about that too. So it's like think before you act or like that. So
excellent, very nice, Snigdha, and great job, Sohan. Great job. Yes, Vijay Raghavan. Well,
and Manya,
Uh,
can I ask anyone else if they could like answer my question?
yeah, also, I'd request all of you, once you're done framing the question, just type the question in the chat box. So anyone who wants to probably answer can also raise their hand, perhaps also type their answer in. So why don't you do that? Okay. Yes, Vijay Raghavan. Go ahead.
my question is, what is the nature of the self, and how does it transcend the cycle of birth and death?
The sum.
Shloka shloka reference is from chapter 2, 22nd verse.
Does someone want to answer this question? Give it a try. Why don't you share the answer?
Can I tell?
Yes, yes.
The answer is according to the verse 2.2 22nd verse. The self, like he discards old, worn out bodies and takes new ones, just like a person changes old clothes from new ones. This illustrates the eternal and unchanging nature of the self, which transcends the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth.
Very nice. Excellent. Also, please type in your questions in the chat box as well. Uh, okay, we'll just take Akshat's question and finish this round. The rest of us can type in the questions. Yes, Akshat.
My question is, what is Raga Dvesha?
Okay, who knows the answer? Yeah, Megha.
Actually, Akshita, I didn't quite hear that, so could you repeat it?
Akshat, would you like to repeat your question?
The question is, what is Raga Dvesha?
I don't.
Answer.
Yes, yes, please.
Ragadvesha means attachment. It is in Bhagavad Gita, like Ragadvesha Viyuktaistu Vishayan Indriyeshcharan Atmavashair Vidayatma Prasadam Nigachati. Like we should not attach to Indriyas. That
Yeah,
is my
that's
answer.
what like liking and disliking attachment. Yeah, correct.
Very nice. Very good, Vijay Raghavan. And great question, Akshat. So, once again, requesting all of you to please put your questions in the chat as well. With that, we come to an end with this round and also this quiz. I'd request all of you to chant along with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.